So, hello everybody. This is Desiree Wara. I am the founder of Small and Anointing Christian Entrepreneur. I am also a e-commerce entrepreneur. As you all know, I am your favorite jewelry lady, right? I am also the owner of Women Are Rubies Boutique. But today, I am here to talk about a wonderful soul that I have met, and she is doing a great thing, some great things in the community. If this is your first time watching the show Entrepreneurs Faith Vision, know that here you will hear about the amazing journey of those kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, the work that they do. And we are here just to give them a voice in the community. We are a faith-based organization located in Omaha, Nebraska, and we really, really, really love um, the what, like I said, what they do, the changes that they are bringing in the community, how they are simply transforming lives each and every day. So today, let me bring on the camera here Nandy Taylor.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for having me,
Absolutely.
Desiree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Nandy. This is an honor to have you because you are working with such, let's say, um, it could be you're working with high school students. So,
Right.
and you are here to tell us more about the theme tonight is how to make a purposeful investment in people.
hmm
So, Nandy is here to tell us all about what she's doing in the community. Please introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Nandi Imani Taylor, and I am the owner of Custom Tailored Educare. And so, what we do at Custom Tailored Educare, we serve as an educational consultant and mentor to independent high school students in need of emotional and academic support. So that's really the basis of what we do. We help students connect passion to purpose. We believe that everyone has things that they're passionate about. Everyone has interests, and we explore that to be able to help them navigate life better. Instead of pushing college or a career right away, we help them to figure out who it is that they actually are. Like, what do they enjoy doing? So yeah, that's what we do at Custom Tailored Educare.
So, high schoolers, so how is it necessary for them to know about the purpose and the passion at such an earlier stage of their life?
Yeah.
Almost because you told me that you start with the freshmen. So let's say 14, 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
how is it so important for them to know about knowing
Right.
the purpose in life?
Right. So we actually say what we say is it's a journey,
Mhm.
right? We empower and uplift the next generation of change agents and thought leaders on their journey from passion to purpose. So we don't push purpose right away. That's like what we're getting to before. When they're in their freshman year of high school and everything, we're really pushing like passion. Like, what are you passionate about? What skills do you currently have? Are you good at organizing things? What is it that makes you happy? Those are really the questions we ask. We've noticed that students, like, they tense up when you ask them, what are you going to do after high school? Like, they get nervous, right? And so we're changing that conversation. We want it to be, what makes you happy, and who are you with, while you're happy, like, what are you doing? So that way we can get a picture of what they actually enjoy, and then we work from there, and we help them identify programs or any extracurricular activities in their schooling, and we provide resources for them as well. So yeah, so to answer your question, that's what we do. We don't necessarily push purpose right away. We know that's a big major thing, and sometimes that scares people. So we do realize that it's a journey, and so we help students, we help students while they're journeying from passion to purpose. So yeah.
So
Great
talk
question.
about your programs because I know you are doing a lot. Is that after school care or something? So it looks like most of your programs are virtual. Is that correct?
They're all virtual. Yes, that's
Okay.
very correct. They're virtual. And so what we have a team. And so we have a team of cultivation counselors. And so our cultivation counselors, they're actually the ones helping our students identify their passions and their interests. They're the ones who kind of help with the college application process if that's the route that they choose, and everything like that. And then we have our development instructors, and they're our subject tutors. So they help with math, science, and they also help with English and language arts. And then we have our care mentors. And so those are our mentors, there to add, extra support. And so they're really there to empower the student and, to check on them. Like, how are your grades looking? How are you doing in school? How is life? Asking them questions and things like that. And also if they have any resources to give and, to bring to the student's attention and the family's attention, they'll do that as well. And so we have that. And so we have a membership program right now. It's membership based. And so they'll pay for the year's annual, and they'll have access to all of our services that way, and any events that we put together, whether it's job fairs, virtual job fairs, mock interviews, any events and things like that, they'll have access to that as well. They'll have access to lesson recordings for, subject tutoring. They'll have access to lesson notes. They'll get that after each session and everything, so they can stay abreast of what's going on. And their parents can also receive an email as well. Well, they will receive an email as well. So they'll be able to keep updated. And then, so, we have the membership program. And so that's what Custom Tailored Educare is. But we also now have a nonprofit branch as well. And so I believe that's what you're speaking about too, when when you're saying, I see you doing a lot, like the Simpson sponsorship program. We have that, and that's the nonprofit branch of our organization where students will have access to our membership at the expense of their sponsors. And those are students.
Maybe you have to tell us that, yes, you have a partnership with
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes. So it's
But you also have to tell them about the Uganda school.
Right. And I will. Yeah,
Tell
I
them
wanted to
about
give you
that.
a
What
chance
you're
to
doing in Africa as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk too much. I wanted to give you a chance
It's
to kind
okay.
of but so yeah, our partnership is actually with the International Foundation for Women and Children's Empowerment. And so they help us to run the Simpson sponsorship program. So what happens is, because my heart is on the continent of Africa, that's just where my heart is. Like, everything that I've done previously and everything is pertaining to that, to rebuilding Africa, and just that I feel like that is my purpose. I know that. And so what happens is, our sponsors, they will not only be sponsoring a student in the US, so our students are in low income households, they're foster care youth, students of marginalized identities, children of immigrants. Those are our students who qualify for sponsorship. So they'll be sponsoring them, but they'll also be sponsoring students in Uganda as well. And so that's really exciting. When that opportunity came, it really made me happy, because I'm like, oh my goodness, we get to do both. I get, that's something I get to serve both. So we'll be sponsoring a student there. So what happens is, they'll be given a general sponsorship, and then we'll give a scholarship to a student in Uganda, and that will cover their school fees, but it'll also cover things that they need, to necessities,
right.
Like clothes, just different, like school supplies, things like that. We have a budget dedicated to that, and it'll cover them for the year as well. So
that is really, really awesome.
yeah, thank you.
We need to show to our viewers here your website, so that they will be on the same page as we are right now.
Right, perfect.
I actually love, I'm a mother of three, and all my kids are, like I told you this morning, they're all toddlers.
Right.
And then, like you said, I am myself an immigrant. You can tell that French accent coming out. and I think your program is definitely I will say a good thing, because it can help other families, immigrant families, to know more about the educational system here in America.
Right.
And that's one. And that's two, it gives the opportunities for them to, uh, have those care mentors,
Mm-hmm.
look after the child. Sometimes we have some barrier languages, right? Language barrier,
Right.
sorry. So this program can definitely help other immigrant families here. So please contact Nandy once your kids, because I know you told me
Yeah.
you don't. It's only high school.
Right,
You're
right. High
focusing on the
school.
high
Right.
school students,
Yeah.
and no, not the
Yeah. And
kindergarten or something, but high school students. So, parent out there, if you are watching us, please make sure that you contact Nandi Taylor, and then she will be helping your high school kid or child, you
yeah.
know, uh, to be, like she said, she provide college and career readiness services.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she will be there to hold his hand, hold her hand, through
Right.
that process. Um, so let me show them your website here.
Yeah. And I want to tell you a little bit about my
Go
inspiration
ahead.
because when you said language barrier, that was
Hmm.
that was something that was brought to my attention. Well, that's something we study in public health, but
Right.
also that was a conversation that I had with one of my development instructors,
Mm-hmm.
and she's originally, her family's from Peru and everything, and she said that she felt so alone in high school because they didn't understand the language, so they couldn't walk her through things, so she kind of
Right.
had to grow up early on to kind of translate what was happening to them. And so that also, like, that inspired this as well. So yeah, what you said is very real. It's
Definitely,
a real
I
thing.
agree, because while I was when we were talking this morning, this is actually the first thing that came to my mind, and I think, hello,
I hear you. Yes,
you can.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, because I think I thought I lost you for a moment. Okay, so this is something that really came to my mind. Hmm. Nadia, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hmm. Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right, viewers, one second here.
Okay.
All right, perfect. It looks like we are having some issues here to
To pull up the website.
to
It's
pull
fine.
up the
Yeah,
website.
it's okay.
I
It's fine.
think it's okay. We're just gonna
Yeah.
anyway, you are the one that
It's
you we
custom
need.
tailored
Yes.
educare.com.
Custom tailored. Yes,
Yeah.
custom tailored educare. I just wanted to show them your
Right.
vision and your mission, but it looks like it doesn't want to come up for me, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Things happen. Remember, we are a faith based organization. So the devil is a liar, guys. But we are going to go through this. We are going to finish this interview. So another thing, you also say you serve as an advocate to kids in the foster care system. What do you mean by that?
So
How
yeah,
can
so
you
right
help them
now,
through your organization?
right. So now we serve people in general. We serve students of marginalized identities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really who we serve as an advocate for. Just because, I've communicated with social workers, and I have friends who are in the foster care system and everything, and they communicated that, in terms of like the education and everything like that, that was something that was really lost. Like, they moved from school to school,
Mm-hmm.
and everything, home to home. And so it kind of, we want it to be that one permanent place because we're virtual and everything, their support system through it all. And we wanted to speak on their behalf and everything, and give them a voice, not even speaking on their behalf, but giving them a voice
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that, and giving them the autonomy, because a lot of the time decisions are made for them. And so our organization and everything, we give students, like, they're able to have a voice in it as well, in terms of communicating what they're passionate about, and things like that, and us being there to assist with that,
Mm.
you know. Um, So yeah, so those are one of the populations that we serve in terms of margin, students of marginalized identities. Um, but yeah.
That is awesome. What is your I want to ask because it looks like I have something that just come up in my mind as well. Have you thought about giving some classes to going places like it can be churches,
Mm-hmm.
it can be I don't know, a business, anything to bring more awareness into what you
Right.
are about what you are doing in the community,
Mm-hmm. That's
because
great.
parents definitely need help.
Well, let me tell you
Lots of
this.
parents. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you this, because I'm all about being honest, right? That's just me. I like to be transparent. Yes, that has definitely crossed my mind, and I'm on that journey now. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that because I'm naturally an introvert. I prefer to
Mm-hmm.
be behind the scenes, so me getting in
Mm-hmm.
front of people and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that vulnerability, that's a huge fear for me. It's always been that way. I've been afraid to be vulnerable, open, and things like that. And so now I know that I have to get over that fear and I have to be in the forefront. So now I'm making it a point to me be more vocal. Even me being here, that's
Yes.
like that's huge for me. Me speaking right now, because that's something I've run away from. And so yeah, I am making a point right now. I'm creating like the sponsorship packet and things like that, so we can have something visual for
Right.
presenting and everything, presenting what we do, presenting the benefits of what we do. So yeah, I'm being more intentional about networking and letting people know like what it is we're here for, and what the purpose behind this organization is, our mission, our vision. And so yeah, I have thought about it. I have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good because we have my husband is a pastor.
Mhm.
So our congregation is I like it's a multicultural congregation,
Mhm.
but like I said, I think we will definitely need to know more about the American educational system,
Right.
how to help our kids be better. I will say, when it comes to applying for college and all those things, so
Right.
we definitely need your service, and then get them ready for interviews, mock interviews like
Mock
you said.
interviews. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm working with the student now.
Working on
Getting
the resume, help them with the resume
right.
and all those things.
Right.
And maybe help us as well with those parents meetings that we have and stuff that maybe a
Yeah.
family like immigrants family don't really understand, to be
Mhm.
honest sometimes. For me, for instance, so I didn't do my secondary education here, so only the higher one. So I went to college. Went to the 4-year university. I have a master MBA. But this is something that we need to know, you know. So we will definitely need your help when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Um, well, yeah, you were about to say something.
Yeah. So I was saying I was actually just working with the student, and
Mm-hmm.
she was nominated for a full ride scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she messaged me and everything like that. And so I told her to forward me the email.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had her do that, and I looked over it, and it was something like it was a last minute opportunity. And so I think she emailed me that Wednesday, and the application was due Monday. And so it was something that we went over together. I scheduled a meeting with her. We went over it together, and it had an essay attached to it, of course. And so,
Oh boy.
I explained it to her. I explained the prompt to her, and I had her, I created a shared document and had her write it out over the night, her essay and everything. And I looked over it in the morning, and then we met again that later that night to kind of edit it together and create an outline, because she's used to writing prompts that are more structured, and this was kind of just
Right.
questions. And so I taught her how to outline it herself and create that structure herself. So we did that and everything. And then I realized that she wasn't in tune, because we talk about academic success, right? And academic success is great, but I feel like it's the byproduct of you feeling confident, you
Right.
having that emotional stability, because we've noticed that students, you could get the right answer all day and everything, but if you second guess yourself and you erase it, they're gonna, on the test and everything, they're looking at your final answer. They're not looking at that first answer that you got right. And so we realize that confidence is a huge thing, and that's what we're instilling. But
True.
and I wanted her to, I realized in her writing that she wasn't able to communicate her feelings. She was very guarded
Mm.
and everything, and so it was all academic, and there was no personal connection to what she was saying. um, and so I told her, I was like, you know what, you need to journal. I want you to start journaling from here on out. So we don't just address academic success. That's not what we do. We're really about like the mental health of our students, emotional support as well. So that was something I made note of. And to your point, mock interviews, you said mock interviews, and that's what triggered this. And so she has an interview coming up, and so I'm like, okay, well, now we have to meet, to make you more comfortable and everything, we're going to have mock interviews, so that way you can feel confident, being interviewed by them. So yeah, that's definitely a service that we provide.
That
um,
is that is awesome. And you also, I think you also mentioned that you prepare the student for the SAT test and
so
stuff, right?
So we don't
Score.
actually do the SAT prep. We'll keep track of it for them, like if we know, because we create
Okay.
a plan with them. So we know that's the next step and everything.
Okay.
So we'll make sure they're scheduled for that. And we have resources that,
Okay.
that we can explain to them, that we could connect them to, but that's not a service that we actually provide.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about making purposeful investment in people. What is your take on that? You've been
Yeah,
investing
I
your
think,
time, you've been investing your uh yeah, your
right.
time, your I mean everything. You put
Yeah.
everything because you open guys, she created a custom tailored educare during the pandemic. So this is a
God,
story that
that's
she has
God.
not
That's
even been
all
able to
God.
tell us how she was over, be able to, she was able to overcome her fear and I mean
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on right during that pandemic.
Whew,
And
yeah.
we only have about 10-12 minutes left, and that's really
Right.
breaks my heart because but let's dive into right into that the subject of tonight, which is making purposeful investment in people. What
Right.
is your take on that, Nandi?
I think it's important. One thing I wrote, because I've been writing a lot more. That's like my
Hmm.
heart. I often say, like, I write before I think. Most people, they think before they write, but for me, it comes so easily, and it's like my heart. Whenever I'm writing, it's like honest. That's how I truly feel. And one of the things that I wrote is, wealth is great, but what's even better than well, no, wealth is great, but what's even better than wealth is generational wealth. And what's even greater than that is a generation of people who know who they are. And
Yes.
so when we talk about investment and everything, it's important for us to know who we are, what our purpose is in God, rooted in God, so that way, we can act that out, right? And so taking time to really discover that, and taking time to help other, especially our younger generation, the next generation, helping them to identify what it is they're most passionate about, so that way they can, eventually figure out what their purpose to do. um, and so yeah, so investment, my investment is our youth. um,
Hmm.
and I think about it. So, me, I think about the continent of Africa, right?
That is
Because
great.
that's
Yes.
always so I think about how Africa is the youngest continent in the world. Like most of
Hmm.
their people are 25 or younger. Their population, and it's also the continent of Africa. The population is expected to double by 2050. So
Hmm.
that's only, that's young. That's more young people coming into the mix. And so my thing is, where there are people, there is purpose. Um,
Hmm.
so whenever you see a person, I don't just see the person. I'm like, there's something that they're meant to do. And even for me, something that kept me going and everything like that, my mindset, because, I get afraid a lot. I have a lot of fear behind doing this. There's a lot of vulnerability that comes into play. Like, I'm opening myself up and everything like that. And I'm doing what God wants me to do. But one of the things that I think about is someone in this world is they're counting on me to do what God has called me to do. Um,
That's beautifully
so
said.
that, yeah, so that's my biggest driving force and everything, that someone's counting. And I believe that for everyone, someone's counting on you, whatever fear you have, whatever thing is trying to stop you, and you have to think that it's more than just about you. There's so many people attached to you. And even if it's one person, you have to think, okay, even if it's one person's lives that I'm changing, there's lives attached to them as well. So it's like
Hmm.
it's a domino effect. You're not just affecting yourself.
That
um
is really true. And then you mentioned
yeah.
something while you were talking. You talked about generational wealth. And then
Right.
one thing that we know, one of the best generational wealth creation strategies is to be able to invest in your children's education. This
Yeah.
is something that is really important. So, how can your organization, help, the parents to do that? When we talk about the underserved community,
Right.
we talk about the minorities, and again the immigrants families. How can your organization can help build this? You know,
Yeah. So you're speaking on in terms of general wealth, or just in general, like in investing?
general creating general wealth.
Generational wealth. Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things we learned, because so my background is in public health and everything.
Yes.
So we know that education and poverty are greatly associated. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also one of the major components of our program and everything, because eventually we offered subject tutoring for all subjects, but we narrowed our focus down to college and career readiness. But one of our key components is financial literacy.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
You
one.
answer the question. Yes.
Yes,
Go ahead.
it's financial literacy. And so we have people who are well versed in financial literacy, like that's what they do. They're a part of Snowball, they're ambassadors for that. And so, they have in-depth knowledge of that. And so we give our students the tools that they need, because we feel like high schools should have that. Like
Mm-hmm.
you teach
Mm-hmm.
you teach students about subjects and everything like that, but you don't really teach them
Define
about how to
define
navigate in
financial
life.
literacy. Define financial literacy, Nandi, for us.
Yes. So financial literacy is knowing what it means to manage your money
Mm-hmm.
effectively. And so that's what it is. Like how do I manage what I have? The resources that I have available. How do I access those resources, and how do I manage what I currently have? And you know so that's what financial literacy is like. We teach our students about credit and debit and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and budgeting. And
Mm-hmm.
so we also help them navigate the financial aid process. So yeah. And I'm sorry, you hear my nephew in the background, but
It's okay.
yeah.
That was great. I think
Yeah.
I think parents need to hear what you're saying.
Hmm.
Uh, Parents, we need to start early.
Yeah.
Completely, we need to start early. I thought before that taking a financial literacy class was for you know adults, but it's not only for you. Start early. you know
Right.
you have to tell them that teach them priorities, how to manage their money, and all that good stuff, what Nandi just said. So please again contact her. Nandi, are you open for the summer? I know it's virtually, so I mean it's a virtual
Right.
uh
Right.
program.
Yes.
So
This is
what
actually
are your hours for the summer?
right. So it's based on the hours of our team members, and their schedule is
Okay.
open and everything. And so, like I said, it's membership based. So it's about getting the membership, participating in the membership program, and that's
Okay.
it's open enrollment for that. If you go to my site, you'll be able to apply, like fill out the application, just so we can see that. And then we also conduct like a needs assessment and things to really be able to strategize,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to our students, and to learn more about them and like their needs, and everything like that, and to be able to address them. But yeah, we are open. This is actually, like, most people think, okay, during the school year is the time that we should, enroll our students, because you're thinking about just subject tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. But this is really a great time for us to explore our students' interests, to help them get into any programs or extracurricular activities. And also for our students who plan on going to college, especially if they're juniors going into their senior year, this is the time to do their application. So that way, during their senior year, they're not having to worry about that. They have a head start. On that. So that's what we're currently working. I currently have my student and everything. And so we're getting her applications in over the summer. So that way her senior year, she's not having to even really think about that. She's able to write. She has all this free time to write her personal statements and get everything that she needs. So yeah. So this is the
So
time to do it during the summer.
this is
Especially,
the time to do it.
yeah, especially for our juniors.
I
Yeah,
will say
most
so. Yeah,
definitely.
I will say so. So
Most definitely.
contact Lindy. Our website again is, it's just easy. Custom tailored. It's
Education.
TAY.
Yeah, yeah. That's the hard
Hey,
part. The hard part is there's two EDs. So you have
right.
tailored and then you have the ED and educator.
Educare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So this is let me put the information on the screen here so you guys will know. So email Nandi Taylor,
Right.
and you see her email address and also a website. So please, please, please get your kids, ready for the new school year next year, and then yeah, contact her and her team. I'm sure they will take great care of your kid. Another question here, Nandi, before we go, because we have to wrap up and we still have 3 or 4 minutes left.
Yes.
So when we were talking about making purposeful investment in people,
Hmm.
what can you tell an entrepreneur who has, a great burden? You said your investment was in the youth of your community,
Right.
even around the U.S., right? So, what 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 can you tell an what do you call an entrepreneur there who wants to also invest the time, who wants to invest the passion? I mean, you know, what
Yeah.
can you tell them into people? What can you tell them
Yeah. Who wants to have their own business and
to
everything
have
like that?
simply their own business?
Right. That is
Or to
hard.
start their own business since you started
You know,
during the pandemic. So
right.
if they want to invest in people, they want to
Right.
invest the time, they want to, you know,
Yeah.
tell the world that they can bring a solution to the problem.
Right. So
What can you tell them tonight?
yeah, so like I said, I believe in transparency, and so it is hard to have your own business. It's
Hmm.
not going to be you think it's going to just come together
Hmm.
naturally and everything like that, but it's hard um, to have your own business. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of things that we can fear and everything. There's a there's a lot of things, but I think, like I said, before, that there's someone attached to you. So you have to
Hmm.
do it. If you feel like this is a God-given vision idea, you have to do it. Push through, have mentors. So I have a lot of mentors in my circle. So whenever I have really rough days and everything, I have people to speak life into me. Um,
Amen. Mm,
yeah, and that's
mm,
huge because sometimes we want to surround ourselves by people who, like, I've had to learn how to make that separation sometimes, because there's people who they live out of fear, right? Don't
mm.
surround yourself with people who are fearful because they'll talk you out of what you're called to do. You have to surround yourself with people who, yes, there's fear there, but they're still willing to push through that. And so that's me. I wouldn't call myself fearless. I wrote a blog post recently, and it's entitled "Fearless."
Mm.
That's what I do. Just enough for me to move. Like I combat it just enough. Like I know that my fears are going to be present sometimes, and there's going to be, some days are harder than others. But I'm
That's
still,
awesome.
yeah, just keep moving. So that's what I
Just
would
keep
say. Don't
moving.
don't let anyone talk you out of your vision. Don't surround yourself by people who are fearful. Be careful, like whoever your circle is. Make sure you check that, set those boundaries and everything like that. You can't, when you have a big vision and everything, you can't surround yourself by any and everyone. You have to be really selective, because yeah, when you're called to do, you have to make it happen, and so you have to make sure the environment is conducive for that. um, so yeah.
Don't surround yourself with the people that don't have the same vision as yours, and
Well,
usually
they
that's
don't
what happens.
right. They don't even necessarily need to have the same vision as you. They just have to have a level of understanding, a
Mm,
little bit. And even if they don't understand, they're not going to talk you out of it.
mm,
And it's actually, I feel like it's imperative. Like, yes, there's people who they're like minded and everything like that, but they're also able to challenge me to a new
mm,
way, so not necessarily the exact same vision. Yeah, yes, when it comes to your business and everything, like, I believe, I ask God to send me like divine helpers and people who are actually meant to help me on this journey.
mm-hmm.
And so I have team members where, of course, my team members, we have to share the same vision and mission and everything
Right,
like that.
right.
Right. But yeah, just them like having a certain level of understanding, or them not being fearful in their own lives, and people who are secure in themselves as well. um you know
That's very important. So
yeah,
you, mm-hmm,
right, because if you surround
mm-hmm.
yourself with people who are insecure, they'll definitely talk, they'll grow
Yes, they'll
envious.
talk you out. Mm-hmm,
Yeah, so they have to have a
mm-hmm. Of
certain
your
level of
vision. Mm-hmm.
security, right? So yeah.
That was really well said. Thank you so much, Nandi.
Thank
Wow.
you.
This is I was blessed, and let me tell you, let me make a confession here. That's what I love bringing entrepreneurs on the show, because it encourages me myself. It gives me, again, the strength to keep on, going forward, and just be encouraged.
Right.
Just really be encouraged. It refuels my passion, and that's what I like to bring the entrepreneurs on the show, and I like the show. And so thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah.
I do like the show myself.
Thank you so much for having me.
it
It's
was
been
it
great.
was really, 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 I spent a great time with you, and then I learned a lot. So definitely, I want the viewers, I would love like the viewers to again check your website or send you an email. Let me put your information again, scrolling. It's right there on the screen.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And I know I will see you really, really soon.
Right,
Because
of
think
course.
about those classes that I told you earlier, I will
Yeah.
definitely invite you to my church, and then so that you can talk about, you know, there
Uh-oh.
are a lot of things that we
Yeah.
haven't been able to touch or to talk about during our time
Yeah.
together. So I want you to come back, and I'll meet you again, and then
Most
we can definitely talk about those things, about your trips to
Oh
Uganda,
yes, we didn't get to talk about
Ghana.
that. There was
We
so much we
haven't
didn't
even
get to
talked
say.
about this
Yes,
yet, and
we
then time is
didn't.
already up,
Oh wow.
and what you learn about, the
Yes.
educational system, abroad,
Right.
and all those differences, and like I said,
Right.
those similarities, and
Right.
just we have 1 more minute. For instance, back home in where I am from, we take a test at the end of our high school year.
Right.
But it looks like here in America we don't do it. It's a, what do you call, a grade system. So
Yes,
it's
great
only
system.
based on
Right.
your grades. And then us, it's both. It will be based on your grade, but also at the end of the year they will test you to see
Wow.
if you
Yeah.
are able to, yes, to see
Right.
if you are fit to go to college.
Right.
Otherwise you
Yeah.
have to retake your classes.
I have run across students like I have heard that for sure.
Yes, so
And it's very
definitely,
stressful. It's a
it
stressful time
is
for
at the end
students.
of the year, and then they will test you,
Yes.
like, I think every 4 years or so, just to
Yes.
see if you have a good level, if you understand what you are, and they make you take all those tests and
Right.
stuff. I think on when you're fourth or fifth grade or something,
Mm-hmm.
they'll make you take a test. So,
Yeah.
anyways, this is what is happening in other countries,
Right.
other educational, system in
Mm-hmm.
other countries there. So definitely we are grateful for America, and then we are grateful for you. Thank you so much, lady. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having
Nandi.
me.
Absolutely. I will see you later. Have a
Yes.
wonderful night. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.
So, guys, you heard it from Nandi Taylor. It is important for a family or a member of a family to make sure that they create generational generational wealth, for the children. So, and the most important thing, it starts with investing with your children in your children education. So if you are out there, I strongly recommend you, you know, to invest in your children education, by contacting, such organization as custom tailored educare. They'll take care of your children. They will help them with the college, help them with the college, not education, but help them to be college ready. There you go. College with the application, with the financial aid process, and many, many other things that they do. So I strongly encourage all the families out there to get a hold of Nandi Taylor, and then you see email address there. Guys, until next time, stay strong. Entrepreneurship is definitely not for the fainted heart, but I promise you there is a great reward once you are able to overcome your fears. And until I'll see you again, have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.